Hey, what's up online? What's up, online community? And thanks for stopping by, checking out another segment of Straight No Chaser. Now, first off, I've got to say that I know I've been gone for some time. I want to give a shout out and a special warm felt thank you to everybody that's messaged me, that's reached out, that has stopped by to check on me and my health and my well-being. As you can see, I'm back. I'm black and I'm stronger than ever. Last time I was online on the airways, I didn't have the facial hair. Look, I even grew the goatee back because I was walking around looking like Ken Brown with the with the slippery criminal face, no facial hair. But I even grew the goatee back. So shout out to everybody that checked in on me. Checked in on my health. I'm feeling great. I'm doing great. I'm energized. I'm enthused. I'm ready to talk some sports. I'm ready to get down with my man Ken. I know that because of the hiatus, I've been gone for a month. This segment, I wanted to kind of take it back to the roots, and that is talking to one of my guys who was there A1 from day one, helping me build this platform, talking sports and culture, Ken Brown. So first off, Ken Brown, thanks for jumping on Straight No Chaser.
Hey, brother, thanks for having me back, man. It's been too long. I'm glad to see, man, you're doing well. We definitely missed the segments, man. So glad to have you back once again, man. So we can jump into it and get it popping.
Man, you know how we do. So before we get into it, people at home, if you're watching, grab your favorite libation. Today we're talking sports, and we're gonna get into a Straight No Chaser. Salute.
Yes, sir.
So I want to wrap up with one thing, and this actually brings us back to a conversation we had about a month and a half ago, and that is right now Deion Sanders has accepted the head coaching position at Jackson State University. And what you're starting to see is a slew of former athletes, former NFL players, African-American NFL players, wanting to be a part of his coaching staff, wanting to come in and volunteer their time, want to come in and speak, just wanting to be a part of a bigger piece of the puzzle as it relates to athletes and HBCUs. Your thoughts on Deion Sanders as the head coach of Jackson State? Kind of what are your expectations of Deion Sanders as a coach? And do you think this could be the renaissance of HBCUs as it relates to African-American athletes?
Man, I hope so. I'm an HBCU product, man. I mean, Texas Southern University down in Houston, Texas. And it was just a great experience for me. And I think I wish more young African-Americans would take an opportunity to go to an HBCU, because it's a life-altering type of experience when you're on campus and you see Black professors and Black intellectuals and just the family type of feel when you're on campus. I was very excited to see Deion go to Jackson State. I think he's going to bring a lot of attention to the HBCUs. I think he's going to bring a lot of talented players, 3 stars, 4 stars who are probably on the bubble as far as, if I go to Alabama, if I go to a Texas or a UCLA, I'm going to have to wait. Or if I go to Clemson, I'm going to have to wait. But Jackson State is a place where I can go play right away, play under the tutelage of somebody who has NFL contacts, play with a program that's going to get a lot of TV attention, because I'm sure there's going to be a lot more games of Jackson State with Deion at the helm. Overall, man, I think it's a great opportunity for HBCUs, especially athletics, to shine. I hope more former pro players follow his lead and take the helm at some of these universities, man, and start drawing in a lot of top talented players in the country, man. So overall, man, I love it. And I'm excited to see it.
And I think you touched on a couple of points, and that is right now there's the challenge of many African-American coaches struggling to land head coaching jobs or even lead assistant jobs at some of their elite NCAA programs.
Right.
Looking at what Deion Sanders did, there was discussion that he wanted coaching positions at other schools, Florida State and some of the other ones. At least that's what was reported. Again, I don't know how true that is, but what he chose to do was create his own legacy at a Jackson State University. Right. So if you're not able to have a seat at the table, you create your own table.
Right.
And with that, one of the things that people forget is many, and it's not so long ago, at least during my generation. So we're not talking about too much long ago. Many of the best some of your elite football players came from HBCUs.
Yes, yes.
Jerry
Indeed.
Rice came from HBCU.
Yes, indeed.
Shannon Sharp, HBCU.
Yes, indeed.
You know, Richard Dent, Walter Payton, Doug Williams was the first African American quarterback from HBCU. I mean, there are so many guys that have come from HBCUs
Yes.
in the NFL that play the NFL that is not far reaching. It's just become over, I say, the last 15, 20 years when TV money has gotten involved,
right,
that you start to see a lot of the mainstream universities, you know, kind of be able to recruit,
right,
and be top heavy and top end. You know, you look at a program like Alabama where their first, second, and third string guys can go and start on other teams, but it's because you know they got the money, they got the facilities, they got the uniforms, they have all of these different things. But when you look at historically, HBCUs have really produced some of the most historic figures in the NFL. Some of the pioneering leading guys in their position in the NFL. Think about it. Arguably the best running back in NFL history came from an HBCU.
Absolutely.
One of the best tight ends ever has come from HBCU. Richard Dent, one of the best defensive ends, rush ends, came from HBCU. The best wide receiver, and some will say the best football player of all time, has come from HBCU. So it's not beyond the realm that these HBCUs will be able to capture the athletic prowess that many of these athletes bring to the table, or even coaching them up. And to your point, some of the connections that they have on the NFL level may be able to benefit some of these collegiate players. Absolutely. Because, you know, if let's say, and I don't know, I'm not in this situation. So I'm not sure how I will handle it as a parent, but if I had an opportunity to play, or if my son had an opportunity to play for Deion Sanders at Jackson State, or go to one of the elite programs and be third on the depth chart, I'm thinking, you know what? Maybe I might want to take my chance with Deion Sanders and his coaching staff and his connections and things like that, because that might be an easier path as opposed to waiting to my junior or even senior year, or having a transfer and be a 5-year senior somewhere because now I finally got my playing time. Whereas opposed to I'm going to a Jackson State, or if there's another school, you know, that I can then step in right away, get my feet wet, learn from day one, get some pro tutelage, pro connections. Because again, the other piece is, to your point with these connections, guys are going to be coming in and speaking and showing different things, and guest, for lack of a better term, counselors at camps and things like that. So you're going to have that interaction. And the other thing too is you're going to understand what that pro experience is like, because you have someone that's lived it and talked it. That's been through that experience. You know, I'm hoping that this is the renaissance of HBCUs. I know we've had a couple of basketball players that are considered, that have signed with HBCUs. I know Mikey Williams is top 3 as far as HBCUs. One of the Maker boys, he just signed with the HBCU. I think it was Hampton or Howard.
Howard, I believe.
Howard, yeah. So we're starting to see the renaissance of HBCUs. And then not to mention the level of social awareness that's happening. You know, there's a social consciousness. My oldest daughter is a product of HBCU. She graduated from Clark Atlanta University.
Oh yeah, okay.
We've had some, but make it rain in the financial aid office.
Yeah, I hear you, brother. I know that's right.
But no, she was really good about working and financial aid and things like that. But one of the things that we talk about, and she has been adamant about this, and to your point, you know, she's a product of an HBCU, and she said, Dad, you had a great college experience. You got, you know, some connections, you got made friends. Said, but there's nothing like going to an HBCU. Nothing. Yeah. And then she's someone that vouch, and we talk about this, and to that point, you know, you're starting to see a wave of younger people now that are more socially conscious and taking some of these things into consideration, because they see what's going on from a societal standpoint. They're starting to tap into some of the legacies of former athletes, and also the legacies of the school. You know, so I'm hoping that this will be the renaissance of the HBCUs.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
My man, Ken Brown. But you know what? It's been a great time chatting up with you. I know we've had some great comments. Shout out to Sibit, Derek Anderson, Tina Ward. We had Dewan, my man Dewan Allen chimed in. Jumped on. Mike Capetta. You know, just a number of people. And again, thank you everyone for your well wishes, for your messages, for your phone calls, checking in on my health. I'm back. A couple of things that we've got coming down, or I've got coming down the pipeline. I'm going to be having sit down Sundays where I recap the week in sports and also look at the following week in terms of what's going on in the world of sports, what's coming down the pipe. So I'm going to be having sit down Sundays at 6:30 Central Time. And then also Tuesday or Wednesday, depending on what's going on that day, I will create an event for that. But Tuesday and or Wednesday, I'll be having our regular Straight No Chaser conversation. So sit down Sundays and Tuesday and or Wednesday, regular Straight No Chaser conversation. Big Ken Brown, thanks for joining me. Anything you want to say to the people before we sign off?
Man, don't sleep on my Dallas Cowboys. To those of y'all in the locker room, nothing's changed. You'll still get 20 dropped on you. Just step on up, But, man, much love to you, brother. Keep doing what you're doing, and just look forward and to see what you're doing, man, what the future holds for you, Stan.
Man, you know what? It's been a blessing. And what greater note, what better note to take us out? Give it to you, Straight No Chaser. Salute, everybody.
Sir.